out. Obviously, this is a big event for a lot of us in here today, and we definitely appreciate everybody joining us for this event. We'd like, if we can, to convene then. Although that clock's a couple of minutes late, I think everybody consensus up here, we're right about 6 o'clock, and surely we want to start our meeting at 6. We would like then to convene the Royse City City Council. And again, welcome everybody to join us. I want to recognize on the stand, we do have Council Member Tafoya, Yeoman, and Saxton. At this moment, Council Member Varel, she's unavailable and should be back obviously this next week, so we're excited to get her back. We have asked Council Member Yeoman if she would lead us in a moment of silence and also the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we got some action items we need to work, so let's go ahead and we'll start. We're going to swear in today the Royse City Mayor, one of the City Council members, as well as a Planning Commission member. So we'll start with that. Amy?
Mayor's mic on.
Do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. I, Taurus Brand, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Thank you, Amy. This mic isn't working, so let me just speak up if I can. Taurus, before you leave, and you can't leave yet, share with us who you have here today.
Oh, I have the better half. I have my wife, Connie.
Thanks for Connie. Appreciate you joining us, okay? Brian, take a moment and share who you have with us today.
Oh boy, there's a lot of us. I don't even know where to begin, but let me begin with my wife, Shauna, and she's holding our only grandson. That's Warner Clyde Saxton. Next to my wife, and I know you're thinking, that's not his wife, she looks too young. And it's a little trick I played, and it's worked for 33 years. Anyway, next to her is my daughter, Julia Saxton. Next to Julia is Dallas Saxton. He's my son, and he is the coach of Woods Cross High football and basketball. So you guys will be seeing a lot of him over at Roy High. Then Nadine is my daughter-in-law, and seated next to her is Betty Saxton. She is my sister-in-law. And then my brother Brent, who some of you might know, is here as well. And then I have like a lot of friends here.
Good.
I must be popular.
That's great.
Just popular enough, anyway. Anyway, but they're all here, and just I can't say enough thank yous for putting me here, and I promise not to embarrass anyone.
Thank you, Brian. Let me, if I can, just share a couple of the family and friends that joined me, if you don't mind. First thing is my wife, and where's my lovely wife?
She's
There she
over
is,
there.
right back there, Carol. She consented in allowing me to continue public service for a little while longer, so I was excited about that. I have family, son, daughter, okay, and grandson over here, Matt and Jen and Michelle, those obviously, and Charlie with other grandson and daughter. We're excited. My brother and his wife are both here. We're excited. Thanks, Daryl, for joining it. And oh, by the way, a couple of people, if you don't mind me pointing out, Commander, okay, Colonel Hammerstead. She's the 75th Air Base Wing Commander at Hill Air Force Base. We're excited to have you and your staff here. Mike, Cindy, Master Chief, we appreciate you being here. A good friend of mine, Andy Bush, he was the DLA commander for a few years, used to be the base commander. We appreciate you joining us. We do a little fishing together. Lots of great friends. We appreciate you coming and joining us and supporting this celebration. And so we're excited. Brandon, Emily, thank you. Okay, obviously son and daughter. We're just excited to have you here. So we're going to keep this meeting relatively short, not a lot of things on the agenda, but we surely appreciate you joining us in this celebration, and we look forward to the opportunities it provides to us. So having said that, how about we take this time and allow some public comments. I would like then to open the meeting up to public comments. Please, if you'd like to say something, just please state your name and your address so we can have it for the record. Please. Anything you'd like to talk about, anything you feel is important.
Mayor and council, I'd like to address you this evening. I first ran for office way back when the Buffalo Soldiers were patrolling Utah. And it was certainly an honor to have served Royce City for 18 years, and certainly an honor to me to have worked with this council over the past 8 years. So, Mayor, I wish you very, very well in the future. We have a dynamic city, and the city is on the move, thanks to the council members and Councilmember Saxton coming aboard. Join up, form a good coalition, and keep Royce City moving into the future. We have a past. Now, I'm asking you to move us into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Anybody else like to make comment? Please. If you would, just state your name and your address.
It's written on every bathroom wall in town. Marilyn Savage, 6071 South, 2200 West.
Yes, ma'am.
I have two questions. What's the process for putting the next council person in? And do you guys decide, or do you take the public vote that was in the election? And then I'd like to know what your plans are, just preliminary plans to make Roy back, so it's not the armpit. Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks for the question. It's maybe I can at least explain the process, and then we can kind of indicate maybe where we're going. Collectively, it may be a little different because it's now come together. But here's how the process will work. About a week or so ago, almost 2 weeks, the city made a public announcement indicating they were going to fill the vacant position. Now that the city council position is available, any resident of Roy, and the definition means to qualify, the first year registered voter, and second is you've lived in Roy 1 consecutive year. That's the only requirement. You then can apply for the vacant city council position, and it'll be by appointment. It's not an elected position at this point, it's simply by appointment. You have until 5 o'clock on January 11th to pick up an application from Amy, she's the city recorder, and fill out that application and present back to her a resume. Just give us some information, roughly information about you, and the application. It has to be in person in order for her to make it official. Sometime on the 16th, we expect to convene in a public meeting, and we're going to start the interviewing process. We'll interview all candidates in a public interview. That's a little unusual for me. Typically, my interviews I've done in the past are all done in private. Law doesn't allow us to do that. This one has to be in public, and we'll do it probably right here. In that meeting, the panel will basically ask a series of questions, and then you'll answer those questions. Sometime on that day, the city council, now I need to make that clear, it will be the council and not the mayor. The city council then will select the top 2 candidates of that list. From that selection process, then we will convene that night at 6 o'clock at a regular city council meeting, just like this. We'll open up, similar to what we just gone through, and then we will do a roll call vote, okay, from the council on the 2 candidates that were selected. From that, they will make a selection of the next city councilman. That'll be by appointment. If there's a tie, because we do have 4 city council members, if there is a tie, then what they will do, and I'm asking Andy to get a solo cup out, okay? But we will put the names of the 2 individuals in that cup, and then I, as the mayor, will call someone out of the audience. So if you're really looking for excitement, be here. If that happens, then I will ask you, whoever's selected, and typically, young men, I like Boy Scouts picking these people, so that would be a lot of fun. But we will ask somebody in the audience to select a name out of that solo cup, and that individual will be the next city council member. That's the process, okay? If it's unanimous, or at least the majority, then the individual in that night will be selected as a city council. Only if there's a tie will, in fact, it go to the solo cup. Fair enough? Okay, now having said that, I think your point would be is, where are we taking the city? I'm hoping we take the city to wonderful places. We got some really great opportunities. We got some great things we can do. I think Mayor Craig talked to that a bit. He's saying, yes, we got a good future ahead of us. Stay the course. And so we're going to make some changes. If nothing else, let me just be blunt. I remember many years ago, 4 years ago, a council member Yeoman basically stating to a few of us, she said this: I believe one of the most important things we can do is to open up the communication lines. We need to be able to have people talk to the government. She made that a platform for her belief and has been following that platform all these many years. I kind of followed her lead. Today, if you would look back 4 years ago to where we are today, we are much better in trying to get the message out, trying to get people involved. Today, you can get on a Facebook page and you can link up and you can hear this conversation we're having. Tomorrow, you can get and look on Facebook or other sources and you'll see all our faces as we're having this meeting, because we're going to go live. I'm excited about opening up being transparent, open up the communication. Effective today, actually Amy was able to set up what we call the Mayor's Corner. And in that corner, I'm asking people to simply tell us what you're thinking. I'm inviting Roy residents to explain to us what they're feeling, what their concerns are. And you'll find out if you go on there today, it'll come directly to me and I'm going to address those. The good, the bad, the ugly. I would hope for everybody that simply wants to complain, and we'll have some of those, and that's okay. You'll also be telling us of the great things that we're doing, because we need to share that with the employees. They're doing some great things. So we're going to open those communication lines a lot more. We're going to be much more transparent, and we're going to make a difference. And we're going to change in the right direction. But here's the bottom line. We cannot do that alone. We need your voice. You need to tell us, help us, direct us. And if you do that, then we collectively can make a big difference. And more importantly, it's the difference that you expect from your local government. We're excited. Council, you want to make a comment?
No, I agree with everything you said. I think we've seen, starting to see a difference in the city in the last 4 years. There's been, like you said, a lot of communication we've been trying to work on, and just sometimes some beautification. 2018, the beautification committee is working on getting neighborhoods involved in the beautification efforts. You're going to be seeing in the future a lot more activity with that, with different neighborhoods in the city. So that should be exciting because we want to involve all of our citizens in that effort. So I think there is a lot of projects and activities that, yes, we are looking forward to move the city forward, just like Mayor Cragen said, and hopefully we can continue that service.
Other council, thoughts?
Just glad to be here, truly. I don't know if I can share with them what you've shared with me, but
Well, how about if I tell them and you can finish?
okay.
We're looking at economical development. We got to make some changes, and we're going to make those changes. We definitely got some traffic issues. You don't have to go too far around 5600 and feel the pain and suffering that people have just trying to get up 5600 certain times during the day. We got some opportunities, in my opinion, to finish North Park. There's an aggressive plan to help us finish that. Wonderful capabilities there. We're excited about that. We got a plan coming, and we're excited about a plan that says, hey, what are we going to do with the complex? We got an opportunity to see a plan and maybe a future there that's going to be great for the city. We're really going to make a difference. The secret, I think, if I can share with Ryan, would be is help us. Help us define it. Help us make it happen. We cannot do this alone. Is that a good start, Brian?
That'll work.
Okay.
That'll work.
Okay. Anybody else have any public comments, please? If you'll just state your name and your address, please.
My name is Glenda Moore. I live at 2088 West, 3825 South in Roy. I've been here for, well, I think we moved here when I was 4. So, and I'm retired 2 years ago. So I've been here a long time. And this is the first time I've ever come to a city council meeting. And it's the first time that I've ever gotten involved with the city at all. And I'm not saying that I'm going to participate a lot, but I'm really glad to be attending. One of the things that I want to encourage you folks on the council to do is please participate in Facebook. I know that sometimes the people can just be horrible. They say mean things, and I apologize for the way some of them sound. I think they tend to look at people as a group, and they forget that it's people as a person, that it's a person that they're that they're talking to. So please overlook that and just see their frustrations and participate and talk to us and tell us what's going on, and hopefully we can all be friends and get things done. I also would like to encourage you to make sure that the Roy City website has all the information that's available. When you put a packet together for the meeting, I know that other cities, they include all the attachments in their minutes that are downloadable. And if that's feasible and possible, it would be really helpful for us to do that as well. And that's all I have.
Thank you. And by the way, thank you for participating. We love it. Absolutely important to us. Thank you. Anybody else like to share their thoughts? Please.
My name is Taurus Brand. I live at 6019 South, 3850 West here in beautiful downtown Roy. If I can have the permission of the mayor and the council, I'd like to address the public. A few weeks ago, we had a consultant's report to a combined meeting of the council and the planning board and try to map out the future of things that we can do here in Roy. We have had preliminary discussions in the planning meeting. One of the things that we're almost positive that we're going to do is that we're going to look at the master plan for Roy, which hasn't been updated since early part of this century. Should be done every 5 years, so we're a couple of years behind. I've been on the planning commission probably 4 months, had a number of meetings. There are more people here tonight than there have been in total at the planning commission. It is imperative this will not work unless we have participation. I would like to see all of you. We meet we meet every other Thursday when the council meets. Tuesday, I'm sorry.
The second.
I'm early, okay? I mean, I haven't been there that long. Second and fourth Tuesday, they meet the first and third Tuesday. We always have a public meeting. We are going to solicit through Facebook or wherever comments, and we want to hear from the public what you want done in Roy so that we can try to meet the expectations of the community members. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else like to share? Having seen none, let's go ahead and we'll close then the public comment period. We'd like then to have a city manager's report. Jason?
Okay, Mayor and Council, I'll make this quick. So last week, the Central Weber Davis approved a 3% rate increase. So next council meeting, we will come to you with this as a pass-through, along with some of the other mid-year items that we need. Any questions on that? That's on the east side. So this is done once a year, I believe, and we just kind of use it as a pass-through. The annexation and the borderline adjustment, we've been working with Hooper City. So in conjunction with Hooper City, we do have it advertised as a legal notice in the paper. The deadline is set for March 20th. We currently are working on some RFPs. Currently, our auditors have been here for 4 years, so we're going to do an RFP to look at maybe somebody else that does the audit report. It's a clean way to do it, and it just keeps it clean and separate. We're looking at an insurance broker and also a mailing service. So we're pretty busy in the RFPs section. North Park, Mayor, you mentioned North Park. I did have a meeting with Travis today, our Park and Rec Director. North Park is coming along very nicely. Everything has been ordered, and we're just waiting for the mail to deliver it. That's basically what we're waiting for. As soon as that comes, the installers did say that they will install it in the wintertime as long as it's clear and we don't have a deep frost. We can't work on the splash pad until probably March or April, but we can at least start the playground and get that going and set. Street lights from 5700 South to the Davis County borderline, both east and west side. We're running the wire as we speak. We've had the last holes bored, and We're just kind of pulling the wire. So hopefully we can get that hooked up in the next little bit. The emergency operation plan is nearing final completion. This has been a long time in the process, and Chief Como's one of his last meetings is on the 9th of this month. As soon as they're done and they get everything kind of finalized, we'll get that final draft out to you guys, to the mayor and council, so you can look at it and kind of see all the nuts and bolts of this emergency operation plan. I think that's all I got. You guys have any questions for me?
Let me just make sure I understand for the record. When we talk about the Central Weber Sewer District, and that affects primarily the people living on the east side of 1900.
Correct.
Okay?
Yep.
And then last piece, Jason, if just make sure everything has been ordered, the playground and all that stuff, you expect that to be installed anytime as soon as it arrives. But the splash pad, that's the last piece of phase 1, that will go in the spring.
Right, just because we're dealing with the water lines and everything else, so.
Just want to make sure. There's obviously a lot of public interest. Travis, thanks for moving on this. They're excited, and we'll push to try to get phase 2 completed by this time next year. And in my vision, North Park will be done.
Yeah,
we're excited.
Yeah,
really excited.
One thing I failed to mention, and you brought it up, is the complex. So be prepared in next council meeting. The feasibility study on the complex is complete. So that will come to us by this company that Travis hired, and they'll come give you a list of options to kind of figure out all the pieces for the complex, which we're all excited for. So.
Yeah, thank you. That's going to be great. Thank you. Okay, anything else, Jason? Okay. Mayor and council report. Council, anything?
No. Start of the new year. Here we go.
Okay, hey, this is going to be a short meeting. We don't have these very often. Okay, well then, I will indicate to you, I've asked to put on the agenda what we call the items for follow-up and review. Many times during the meetings, there could very well be things that the council asks. I'll try to capture those. Amy and Jason will capture them as well, and we'll stick them on here so that we make sure that when we come up the next time, we have them right in front of us, and that'll help us to make sure we're on top of some of these things that come out of this meeting. So my comment to you would be is there anything, actionable items that have come out of this conversation tonight? What I took away is you got some draft copies of documents coming to us, EOP, obviously the proposal for the complex. We're looking forward to those. I'll put those as actionable items, but other than that, that's about it. Is that how you see it?
I agree.
Okay. Well, having said that, then, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think we got an eye out of everybody. Thank you.
Aye.
And thanks for joining us. Okay, great night tonight. We appreciate it. I'm not guaranteed they'll all be this short, but definitely we want to keep this one short. And again, thanks for those who have traveled a long way for joining us tonight. We appreciate your attendance and celebrating this opportunity. Thank you.